Wright has overcome a car accident and disappointment in love with her triumphant new album, Freedom and Surrender.
Well, Liz, welcome to South Africa. I should say welcome back because you've been here before, right?
I have, Nico. Thank you. I was here 3 or 4 years ago at the Joy of Jazz Festival in Johannesburg.
Well, you're back here again, this time for another jazz festival. Are you excited?
I am. I remember being struck by the way the South African people listen to music. They catch all kinds of subtle nuances that everyone else misses, and it doesn't matter how large the crowd is, like they listen in this really particular way that's a marvel to me.
Well, I brought you to one of the most beautiful gardens in South Africa. I thought it would make you feel at home because that's where you live in North Carolina, close to the mountains and close to nature.
I do. This is the way I prefer to live, you know. I feel like observing nature is where I get a lot of inspiration from, a lot of clarity from.
And apparently you love gardening as well, and you cook.
I love to go to the farmers markets on Saturday mornings and gather whatever they have that's just radiating, even if it's handmade pasta, you know, and I just try to figure out what to make. And sometimes I'll go over to the house of a friend and just prepare a big spread of food and call everybody over.
Well, today I'm not going to make you work for your food. I've got a delicious surprise for you at one of the best restaurants in the Cape. I hope you're hungry.
After the meticulous studio recording with 4-time Grammy-winning producer Larry Klein, Liz seemed to be loving the freedom of our lunchtime band. Her songwriting recipe is knowing just how much personal experience to share. Not too bitter, not too sweet.
Okay, oh, look at that. Winnie, what do we have here?
So that's the bread platter, Tunisian bread, Moroccan bread, chickpea dip, and dukkha olive oil. And that's our famous house salad, cheese and onion samosas, and that's African spinach, 3-bean curry, and the oxtail amos.
Nice. See, I told you. Your father was a church minister and you led the choir. I would imagine that had quite the influence on your musical beginnings.
Definitely. Growing up in a small church like that was like probably growing up on a small farm. You know, everybody had a job. And mine was to do music, so I had to learn how to put together music for different parts of the service to make people feel certain ways at certain times. So it was my first bit of practice at making a set list.
Lean in, make it plain to me.
You obviously love creating your own music and you're so good at it, but you don't shy away from celebrating other masterpieces.
I think that's important. As a songwriter, you know, it's my only way to really study music and study the craft is to cover great music.
My heart, my mind, my soul, my feelings.
It's my absolute pleasure to do, you know, Neil Young, Led Zeppelin, any of that. You know, it's beautiful work, and I want to know what made it work, what made it speak to so many people, you know? And with a childhood where my father read all kinds of stories to me, he read, you know, Shakespeare's plays, Uncle Remus stories, I kind of see songs as stories. So in this tradition of storytelling, I just pick up something because it's beautiful, you know, and because it's interesting, and I want to know it.
Well, since you draw your inspiration from nature and your surrounds, if you had to dedicate one song off your album to this lovely place, to Kirstenbosch, and to, I'm trying to get you to dedicate a song to Top Billing, which one would it be?
You know, maybe Somewhere Down the Mystic. It has some impressions of mountain life, you know, like the blue light bugs, we call them fireflies. And, you know, I have a big wood-burning stove, and there's a reference to that. But I wanted to give the fans, like, some impressions of what my life has been like now that I've moved. I left Brooklyn, New York, and I moved back out to the country, you know.
I know which one you're talking about. I've forgotten how it goes. Will you remind me?
Somewhere down the mystic, another kind of angel calls, another kind of glory, another kind of fall. It's kind of a weird chord. You have to hear the whole song to know why I sang those crazy notes, but...
Bergwater.
Being told you have a voice like water from the mountain is unusual, and Liz loved it.